Hi, my name is Mandolin Royal, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about male vigor. It's very important, especially if you're doing a breeding scenario, because it has a lot to do with your fertility and the rates that you can anticipate. So I kind of have a weird situation going on right now where I have 4 hens living in this pen. I have positioned this nest box in the wide open of the barn for the benefit of this lady, because she doesn't want to lay her egg in the pen and she works herself into a fit. This one is the broody hen from last summer, and I rebonded her with her 3 pen mates. And you can see this girl sitting in the nest box who's kind of following her lead. So Tornado here in the corner pen, he's going to be the one fertilizing, since I called the male that they did have after finding some suitable males that are sons of his up and coming and ready to get a pen of their own. So I no longer required the services of the other guy. Tornado has 2 pullets. You can see them kind of right there. And they're of different lineage than these other 4 girls. So I don't want them co-mingling together, because it's going to mess up the organization of the hatching eggs. I want to know where they're coming from. So Tornado, he has the type of breeding vigor to where I can invite him out. Come on, buddy. I can leave those 2 girls in there. Keep track of their eggs. And Tornado can sort of manage 2 flocks. Miss Broody Britches already laid her egg. There's 3 out of the 4 girls that are in active lay. So I'm owed 2 more eggs today. Tornado's vigor is really strong and predictable. He's a pretty cool dude, to where I can put a female in front of him and he does his job before I even have a chance to turn around and give them privacy. So it makes things really efficient. He's also really polite with them, and he takes really good care of them, and he's not over the top, and he's not crazy aggressive about it. Because there's other males who can do the same thing, but they may not be that nice about it. These girls are learning to really like Tornado a lot. And he's the one who initially pointed out this nest box to them. After I set it up, he climbed in there first and made his little chattering noises that he's making right now. So this is really helpful. I can go around the barn, do the rest of my chores while having him commingled with this other group of girls. And by the time I'm done with chores, I can go ahead and put him away. And he's already done the servicing for the other females I wanted him to visit with. I could also leave him in their pen for a couple of days and kind of flip them back and forth between the 2 different groups, because a female will hang on to a contribution for up to a month. Usually after 2 weeks, you'll see a decline in the overall fertility rate if she doesn't get her conjugals, I guess you could say. But if you're changing males, it's really important that you do give them a full 4 weeks before reintroducing a different male, so that you really know who the dad is. Because that can have a significant impact on your hatch results from one pair to another pair. So these 4 ladies in the left side pen, they all have proven hatch results, and the other 2 ladies that Tornado lives with, they don't have proven results yet. So I'm not trying to blend those girls together until I know what the younger 2 are going to throw forward. But the other ones being proven, and they had a similar male to what Tornado is, I know we're going to get pretty good freezer results with the odd chance of a pretty stellar bird coming intermittently. Like 1 in 20, I'd say, turns out to be a fantastic bird. But anyways, the vigor part is very, very important. If they're lazy or if they spend too much time worried about what the other boys are doing and not servicing the females, or if they're lazy or shy or otherwise not a go-getter, they can have reduced fertility. And there's 2 different temperaments in the spectrum of male behavior that seem to carry really high fertility. Sometimes it'll borderline on overtly aggressive, and the difference between aggressive in their methods and aggressive towards you is a mean streak. And I don't like to keep around any male that exhibits a mean streak. It's just not worth the hassle. Not when you can get a perfectly decent bird who still has strong vigor. So in contrast to that, though, some of the boys are just way too passive. And they're not busy enough. And that can have a reduced effect on vigor. So that was an example of breeding vigor. He was busy catering to one girl in the nest box. Another one comes walking up who didn't seem busy. And he went ahead and did his job. And now he's going to ask that one. But I already have visual confirmation of him having serviced her twice already this morning. So he didn't go after that one too. He's had a very, very busy morning. Now there's another guy I have. We're going to go visit him. And he has the same sort of vigor, but the main difference is this bird is very professional. And he wants absolutely nothing to do with me. He doesn't like invaders into his territory. He is very supportive to his girls. He's babysitting that one in the nest box right now. And we have a little arrangement. See him posturing already? I haven't technically walked into his pen yet. He's not able to escape outside. It's storming and raining and gross out. But I'm still going to invade his space. And he's going to give me a little passive-aggressive response to that. He's going to give me a whole lot of side-eye. But he also knows how long my arms are. And he also knows that if he really comes at me, I'm not going to mess around about it. So he's just going to watch and observe. He'll try to fake me out. And I'm not going to move a muscle. If I do move, it's going to be to snatch him up. And if I tell him we're going to snuggle, he knows exactly what that means. But his fertility is 100%, and he doesn't mess around. I could probably let him out, and he'll do the same thing with the other girls. But his temperament isn't my favorite temperament. So, right now he has 2 females, and he has those 2 females for body composition, breed traits, laying ability, fleshing, table traits, all that. Not necessarily temperament, because I'm not crazy about his, but I can pick a better son. And when I have a pretty decent crop of males coming from him, I can find the one that I like better. You gonna fake me out again? I told you how I feel about that. He likes to bluff a lot. But he has the same sort of vigor as Tornado. It's just a completely different temperament. I like his gumption. I like his vigor. I just don't really care for his personality. If that makes sense. I like his type and I like his details. So he's worth keeping around until I get a better one. He might be about due for having another snuggle session though, to remind him on how long my arms are. But he didn't chase me out of that pen. I'm watching you though, buddy. Meanwhile, we have Tornado here, babysitting this hen who's thinking about laying her egg. And he's not going to do that to me. He'll hardly get out of the way of the door. I don't have to watch my back around him. I can come down and say hi. And he won't even stop what he's doing. Because you're a good boy. Also, 100% fertility. There's another guy. He's a brother to Tornado. I'm watching him up and coming, and he hasn't displayed any vigor yet, but he's also pretty young. I think he's like 19 or 20 weeks old. So he's got another 4 to 5 weeks before his hormones start telling him what to do. And it's right about that 24 to 26 week mark where you really want to be paying attention to how they're behaving and how those hormone influxes are treating them. Sometimes it goes really great, and other times it doesn't go so well. And a perfectly reasonable bird that was pretty great a month ago turns into something quite terrible. I've seen it happen, not that often, but every once in a while. And this is part of the reason why you want to give them time. Our favorite age group to put in the freezer is right between 16 and 18 weeks old. And we're doing most of that decision making off of growth rate, fleshing, meat to bone ratio. Nothing really to do with temperament. But I do watch the vigor. And if they're pretty lazy, I know they're going to be dinner. Because I need breeding birds who are very busy, very active, who are going to give us better than 90% fertility. If they can't do that, I could accidentally breed us into a corner and tank the fertility. If I always kept the really nice lap chicken lazy dudes, we could eventually find ourselves needing to infuse some other blood to get that vigor back up where it belongs. So I'm always keeping my eye out for the fast growers, the meaty ones, but also that gumption and will to get out and do all the chicken things. Tornado is going to effectively cover 2 different pens of females so that I don't have to mix them all together and monitor fertility that close. And he seems more than happy to do that job. As soon as I open that door, he's ready to go. Visit the other girlfriends. He's got the best vigor of all the boys, with the exception of that one behind him that I showed you that's more diligent and more territorial. Not aggressive, exactly. Just more territorial. And Tornado doesn't have that. So the same vigor, different personalities. And it varies from bird to bird to bird to bird. Over time, you'll start to figure out what temperament you like the best. But just make sure you don't forget to look at how they're servicing the girls, because that's going to make or break your hatch season. They can be as sweet as they want to be, but they still have to do a job. But I'm about done watching chickens today. I've got chores to do. So I'm going to get them put back where they go after this egg gets laid and we can stop with this drama. As funny as it is to watch. I don't know if that other hen needs to lay her egg too, or if she's just watching. Hard to know what's going on inside of a bird brain. So more on this later.